Hey, it's Liv, 105.7 The Point. We're here at Enterprise Center for the Sickness Tour. I am joined by Dan and Mike of Disturbed. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you
for having us. Let's take it back. 25 years.
Ooh, damn.
You know, I think back to that era and like what was hot in rock leading up to that point. I mean, you had Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication. You had Enema of the State. You had Human Clay. And then here comes you guys with The Sickness. Yep. Tell me about that process of that debut album.
We were just playing around the south side of Chicago in the suburbs, probably about 45 minutes south of the city, and built up a following around the small local bars. And once we got our record deal, we went in. We were really focused. Even the songs that at the demo stage of things, when we came in to record the album, we didn't really change anything on the demos. We were like, the demos were pretty solid. The structures and that. It was really just coming in to get better performances, tighter performances. Because when we did the demos, it was only like 2 days. 3 days, that's all we could afford at the time.
Sure, bust it out.
Yeah, so now we had a couple months to get it dialed in and just great performances. But I will say there's a couple things off the demos that we lifted performances off of because it just had the vibe was captured the first time. So like the beginning of Stupify, which was our first single, the intro scat thing that David does in the start of the song, it was the magic was in the demo, and we took that performance and put it on the album. But it was a great process for us. I mean, we were just hungry and ready to work and very focused. So, and when it came out, it was a time of all those, I guess, those new metal bands that came out, or I don't like labels at all, but that's what it was. And it was just a great time with so many good bands out there, and we made a lot of friends right out the gate.
Good, yeah. It paid off. Here you are now, 25 years later.
Yeah, that doesn't suck.
No, not at all. And to be part of, especially thinking of Down with the Sickness, when you think of that era of music in this specific genre, I mean, that comes to the forefront of people's minds. I mean, you get the first few drum beats that do. People immediately know what that is, even if they're not a Disturbed fan as a whole.
How's that sound again? It sounded just like it. I just wanted to know. There it is. Perfect.
Actually, he does it so much he knocks on my hotel room door when he comes down to my room with that beat.
That's right.
He does.
Because then he knows it's me. It's like the secret knock.
That's great. That's great. So how was that born? Was that like an intentional thing, or were you just riffing and like, oh, that's the one?
No, we were at practice one day, and we were like warming up, getting ready to jam, and I was just noodling around, and he stops me and says, "What was that?" And I was like, "What was what?" He's like, "Just play that again." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Just do what you were just doing." And I'm like, "Okay," and I played it, and
I just like the tribal feel to it, and I just wrote a riff on top of that, and we started improvising from there. And then, as the parts were kind of developing, it's a pretty simple song. There's not much to it, musically. And David just start, scatting over it, and the famous wah comes out of nowhere, and that was just really a scat. It was an instinct out of him too. So, we just improvise stuff. We don't really overthink it. We just play it, and we're like, I think all of our
organic.
Yeah, just very, very organic. A lot of things. Same with dropping plates off the album was another thing. I love the drum beat that Mike was playing, and with his China cymbals and that. And I'm like, dude, keep doing that. And so it was always a lot of organic stuff that happened.
Did you realize at the time, specifically like the ooh-ah, were you like, that's kind of weird, David, what are you doing? Or were you like, that's gold?
Well, it caught us off guard, of course. I mean,
a little bit of both.
What is that?
Yeah.
I mean, he just, whenever we're writing, he's scatting, and there's never really any real true lyrics, except maybe occasionally through the scat, a word might come out here or there. But yeah, it was just an instinct scat, and it definitely caught us off guard. But there was some things, I just thought it was a little bit kind of like Steven Tyler type of thing, so we kind of went with it, and it stuck. And that same type of thing off of our song "The Game" on the album, in the bridge section of that, he was just kind of scatting this rhythmic thing, and that stuck too. I'm like, hey, I like keep that. Don't even write lyrics to that one, because it had a little, I don't know. To me, it reminded me kind of a little Jonathan Davis in a way.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
And we were big Korn fans, and still are. But especially back then, I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. And I'm like, don't write lyrics for that part, because we got used to the scat, and it was sticking like that. So we're like, keep that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the guys in Korn at first, when Jonathan Davis did the boom, da, da, they were like, what the hell is that, bro?
Yeah, oh, I
but
love
it
that.
works.
Yeah, and like Twist from Korn. Yeah.
Yep, and you got to take those risks, and then they thankfully, hopefully, pay off.
Yeah.
So here you guys are tonight. You're playing The Sickness in full. I know you guys have only done a couple of shows at this point, but how has it been to kind of go back? And I'm sure there's a lot of songs that you just haven't played in a very long time. To go back to the roots, has that been rewarding?
Yeah, it's great. Well, like you said, there's definitely half the album we probably haven't played in 15 years or something. It's been a while. So to kind of go back and do it again, it was good. I had to go back and kind of relearn them a little bit, but
sure.
Then without overthinking it, just muscle memory came back and you just play it. So it's fun to play these again because it's been so long. Yeah. Because we have such a deep catalog now. There's so many songs that we've left off throughout the years, not intentionally. It's only because unless we're going to do a 6-hour show.
Sure.
Which, but yeah, it's been fun to do these songs again and just kind of relive it.
Yeah, and I know you're releasing this deluxe box set, and I was looking through, and there's demos on there, live performances, and then one that I have to bring up because of who I am as a person. I totally forgot you guys had done a version of Stone Cold Steve Austin's Glass Shatters, and you had an unreleased version of that's on this box set. Yeah,
it was remixed. We did add back in, I guess it would have been 2000, right? When we did that, right?
Right, yeah.
Because
right
we were on Ozfest, 2000, the first year that we did it, and we stopped off, and we were in Sacramento area. We were somewhere. We had a day off, and we had the opportunity to do the song.
Right.
We're like, oh shit, we got to. Sorry about the language. We got to find a studio, get in there, and do the song. And the song with the WWE, they had all those intros for all the wrestlers already written, so we weren't given the opportunity to change it completely because that was his theme song. But they gave us enough room to kind of put our stamp on it too, So it was fun. We just went in the studio one day, banged it out real quick, and we thought we were done with it. We thought that was the end of it, and then we fast forward, and they were doing like Monday Night Raw or something. They wanted us to perform it live on Monday Night Raw. And Stone Cold was going to introduce us, and we're like, we never played this song before. we just went in the studio and recorded, and just laid down our parts and recorded it. So we had a show in Atlanta. We were playing a festival, and the same day, and we told the WWE we already have a show, and they're like, well, we'll send the jet out for us and pick us up.
Yeah.
And we moved up our set to play early in the day so we could get it over with. They let us go on first at the festival. And then we went to the airport. But at soundcheck in Atlanta, we played the song for the first time. We're like, we got to learn this. We're playing this live tonight.
And so playing this live in a few hours in New York City in Times Square at the WWE Cafe with Vince McMahon and Stone Cold being there. No pressure, right?
Right?
So that was our soundcheck in Atlanta.
That's
and then
incredible.
On the jet and gone.
Wow, in and out.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So we've talked about, 25 years ago. Now you have I Will Not Break. What's Disturbed looking like going forward?
Oh, geez. Let's see. We just announced some European dates in the UK in the fall. We're going to be out there for a little bit over a month. And we've been working on music. I don't know what the plan is because we've been right now just focused on this 25th anniversary and the new single, as you mentioned, I Will Not Break. So, we haven't had that conversation of like when we're gonna drop the next album, but we do have some stuff or a lot of stuff that we actually have tracked. So
yeah, but you're not slowing down anytime soon. It seems like.
We don't. No, it's fun. It's paced out now. We're not touring as much as we used to. Mm-hmm. We're doing less shows per year. In the past, it was like, at one point I think we were doing over 200 shows a year. So now we've trimmed down quite a bit.
Yeah, you deserve a little bit of a break after this.
Yeah, but then we go home and then we miss it too. Because this is therapeutic for us. And when you're used to doing so many shows every touring cycle like that. It's funny, we joke around because if we do 200 shows a year, you come home and I'm like, I forget how to function because I don't have an itinerary and a day sheet of where I need to be that day. And I'm like, okay, well,
Where's
now what
catering? Oh, I have to cook.
Right.
Damn.
Exactly. Right. Oh no, DoorDash. No.
You're right. Well, awesome. So excited to see you guys play tonight. 25 years of the sickness. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
right.
us.